Hi, I'm Dr. Brad Jacobs. I am a member of the Integrative Medicine Advisory Board here at Pharmaca. It's a pleasure to be here today. I want to talk to you a bit about managing stress. My focus around stress is really twofold. It's looking at cultivating resilience and managing stress. Let me talk about the first one, resilience, and what I mean by that. Resilience is really the ability to withstand some sort of insult or assault that happens to your body. Let's say you get sick, or let's say you lose a loved one. Those sorts of things that are external that happen to your body, and your ability to really persevere from that point forward and not get ill, whether it be physically or emotionally or what have you, and lose balance in that sort of equilibrium state. That's resilience. It's sort of what I think of as a capacitance, and the ability to withstand sort of a thunderstorm, if you will. And if you can have the imagery of really a large tree with deep roots in it. And that with these deep roots, you're really rooted and have a foundation from which you can withstand the largest hurricane that may come through. Managing stress is, if you would, really the ability to do a couple different things. At one point is external stress and being able to manage that load of stress that's going on. And obviously, the less stress, the better. But actually, there is a sweet spot for stress. If you have no stress in your life, you would be languid and sitting on the couch without any interest, passion, or any sort of desire to fulfill things in your life. Thankfully, you have some stress in your life, which really motivates you and gives people goals and focus. So the question is, how do you find that sweet spot? Too many of us in this day and age actually have too much stress, and we get overwhelmed, and then our focus is not as clear. Our decision-making becomes impaired, our concentration becomes impaired. And what we need to do is find that sweet spot. And for each of us, it's quite different. And then within our lives, as we go through from stage to stage, decade from decade, through our life, it will change for us. So it's important to sort of check in and notice what's working right for you. There's a few different things that I think are quite helpful in managing stress. And it really comes down to lifestyle. And the way to think about this is, what can you do in your life every day to help yourself manage the stress that's already in your life? Number one is sleep. And you can look at a few other segments on sleep that we provide here at Pharmaca. Number two is exercise. Exercise is a potent antidepressant. It's a potent relaxant. And it's quite obviously potent as a medicine for good health, whether it be heart disease, stroke prevention, headaches, etc. Quite potent for those. It's also a wonderful stress reliever. So I recommend people get exercise daily, that you also manage your stress through things that are relaxation techniques, such as breathing practices, whether it be meditation, formal meditation, whether it be prayer. Other people do things such as Tai Chi or yoga. These are things that both use body as well as mind and spirit through breath work, and combined it's a wonderful stress reliever. The other piece is external factors for stress, and again, to try and reduce those. The most important thing to keep in mind is that actually the biggest influence for you is perceived stress. There's a wonderful study that looked at perceived stress. And what we find is people that perceive their stress being quite high actually are those that age the most quickly. This one study looked at moms that had sick children. They all had the same amount of burden on them. But the moms that perceived their stress to be the highest were the ones whose telomeres at the cellular level actually were aging most rapidly. So literally, your perceived stress at a macro level actually affects you at the cellular level in your aging process. So again, big factors are lifestyle. Can you reduce the external load that's facing you? That's number one. Number two, can you shift your attitude around the stress, which is sort of your perceived stress? And number three, how do you regulate it in sort of what I call sort of detoxifying, or imagine yourself like a sponge where you sort of wash out the sponge. Exercise, good sleep, and breathing techniques or mind-body techniques like yoga, Tai Chi, prayer, etc. There's also things you can use that are dietary supplements. I tend to recommend people use the lifestyle foundation piece first, and then before they move to supplements. But certain supplements help with anxiety. That might be related to stress, for example. And those supplements might be things such as milky oats, kava, and many other types of supplements. And Pharmaca is a great resource with healthcare professionals that can help guide you, choose the right supplement for you, or choose the right product, whether it be a yoga mat, a DVD, or other things like that.